Stories of War, World War III, based on the song lyrics and poems of John Eaton. Go, go, go. They came uninvited, marching through the forests, storming across the rivers, planting their boots in the streets of Lithuania as if they belonged there. They spoke of unity, of shared history, of old alliances that had long since turned to dust. But the people knew better. This was not an invitation, it was an occupation. John and Dave had seen it before. Two lifelong friends who had grown up on these streets, now watching them turn into battlefields. The enemy had brought their tanks, their propaganda, their empty promises. But they did not bring understanding. They did not bring peace. They came to take, to control, to erase. And so, the people answered with one voice, go. The invasion had been swift, brutal, and decisive. But occupation? That was another matter. The people of Lithuania did not bow. In the forests, fighters gathered in the night, whispering sabotage plans. In the cities, workers slowed production, sabotaging the machines meant to fuel the enemy's war. In the underground, messages spread. We don't need you anymore. Pack your bags and make for the door. John and Dave had joined the resistance on the first day. They knew the streets better than any soldier. They knew which tunnels ran beneath Vilnius, where the weak points in the enemy's supply lines lay. And they knew this war would not be fought in grand battles, but in the quiet acts of defiance that would drive the invaders mad. The enemy tried to break Lithuania's spirit, but they failed to understand the people they had tried to conquer. The more they tightened their grip, the more the people slipped through their fingers. Sabotage, ambushes, misinformation. It was 1,000 cuts, bleeding the invaders dry. Then, the turning point came. A train carrying reinforcements derailed mysteriously near Kaunas. A convoy was ambushed on a remote road, its supplies seized by resistance fighters. A top general defected, unable to stomach the lies he had been fed. The invaders began to falter. Their leaders barked orders, demanded control, but it was slipping. They had come, uninvited, and now the only message the people had left was simple. Get out. The world had watched for too long. Now, NATO was on the move. Airstrikes shattered enemy fortifications. Special forces struck key targets. The Lithuanian resistance rose from the shadows, taking back their streets, their homes, their land. And then it happened. The enemy broke. The occupation collapsed under its own weight. The soldiers, demoralized and exhausted, began retreating. Some fled, some surrendered, some, in sheer desperation, turned on their own leaders. As the enemy's last transport planes lifted off, as their last tanks rumbled back across the border, the people stood together in the streets of Vilnius and shouted as one, go! They were free. Lithuania stood tall, battered but unbroken. The war had cost them dearly, but their spirit had never been for sale. John and Dave sat on the steps of a ruined square, watching the sunrise over their reclaimed home. We did it, Dave said. John nodded. Yeah, and they'll never forget why. Across the city, the words were painted on every wall, sung in every street, written in the hearts of every survivor. Get out. Leave me time to forgive.